Welcome friends. Today I want to share with you some practical things that I don't do or buy to save money. Coffee. I don't buy takeaway coffee and instead make my own at home, which the cartons of coffee I buy cost about $5 and I go through those once every week to 2 weeks. So $5 a week versus I paid $8 for a cup of coffee the last time I went to a local coffee shop. $5 a week versus $30 to $50 really adds up, especially over the course of a year. So it's just one of those easy things that I choose to do to save. But then something else, I don't buy multiples of things. Whether it's makeup, skincare products, hair care, hygiene items. I like to take the approach of buying one of something, using it up completely before going out and purchasing another. I find that often if you have too many of one thing, especially with consumable items, it's really easy for what you have to go bad before you're able to use it up completely. Skincare, makeup products have an expiration date, and so I find that it's really easy if you have multiples of something not to ever actually work through your stash. And so by only owning one of those types of items, I'm able to ensure that I'm getting the full use of the products that I have, which really adds up over time and helps me save. I'd say if you have a lot of, whether it's skincare, hair care, makeup, whatever it is, if you have a lot, multiples of different things, I'd really suggest trying to use up what you have first, kind of put a spending freeze on that category before going out and buying anything else. It's an easy way to save money, and it also helps make sure that the things that you have that you bought aren't going to waste. Can you say blueberry? Now let's have some bagel. One of our favorite meals, huh? Okay, something else that we don't do, especially when it comes to breakfast and lunch, is we don't switch it up much for meals. By eating the same thing every day, or we like to do a bit of a rotation, so we'll have a couple of options to choose from for each meal, but it allows us to prevent food waste. We're not buying things that we're not going to get through because they go bad, which of course saves us money on that front. But it also helps us save because we can buy more in bulk the things that we do eat on a regular basis. Protein bars, cereal, things that we're eating or going through a lot. And we do tend to switch things up a bit more when it comes to dinner, but say we do try to have that same emphasis of using up everything that we have and not buying more than we can actually use. Super basic one, but I don't buy plastic water bottles. I have my one reusable tumbler, love that. I also have a water bottle, so depending on if I'm out or just around the house, I tend to use this one more at home. The other is really helpful if I'm hiking or we're doing anything outdoors, active. But I don't have a collection. I feel like these days you see people have a ton of Stanleys or just other reusable bottles, and while I do think that having one can help you to save money by not making it so that you need to buy reusable bottles, having a ton kind of defeats the purpose. So here's my one water tumbler. I love it. This one's from the brand Simple Modern. It served me well, even though it is starting to look a bit dinged up. I'm just checking, going through my emails right now, but something that I don't do when it comes to email is I don't subscribe to marketing emails, and whenever I get put on a marketing email list, I really do try to stay on top of unsubscribing to them as quickly as possible. When it comes to how I spend my money, I'd prefer to be intentional about going out and seeking out whatever it is that I'm interested in buying, rather than having promotions coming into my inbox all the time. It's just one of those small things that helps me to save money, because it's just one extra way that I'm able to not have extra advertisements put in front of my eyes trying to convince me that I need to go out and purchase something that I wasn't already planning on buying. It helps me make a bit more intentional purchases where I'm going in seeking out whatever products that I'm looking to buy rather than them coming into my inbox. Of course, I take the route of unsubscribing, but I know a lot of people will also have a marketing email, just like a specific one where whenever they're putting in their information signing up for something, they'll put that in. That way they aren't having to have marketing emails clogging up their inbox, but if they are ever looking to buy something, they can check to see if they have like a coupon, a discount running, something like that. I think that can be a great approach too. Both are gonna help you to save money. I don't overheat my house. Our house is heated using natural gas, which is so expensive, way more so than cooling. Though we do try to, be conscious of how much air conditioning we're using as well. But gas is expensive, so we really try to limit how much we use it. So a couple of things that we do: I drink warm beverages pretty much non-stop during the winter, have teas multiple times a day. And yes, I do realize I had an iced coffee this morning. That's just one of my quirks. I love hot tea and cold coffee, but especially in deep winter, I drink way more tea than I do coffee. Also big on wearing appropriate clothing, so I'm wearing sweaters, pants, long sleeves during the winter. I'm not trying to, go around wearing a t-shirt. I'll cuddle up with blankets. I have a hot water bottle I love. I'll just fill that up with hot water, snuggle with that during the day. All of those things make it so that we're able to keep our house just a little bit cooler in the winter, which does make quite a significant difference when it comes to our heating bill. It's the same thing in the summer too. I'll wear shorts and t-shirts around our house. I'll have a lot of cooler beverages. I'll try to work with the seasons, not against them, to save money. I don't get my nails done, and if I want them painted, I'll just do it myself, which I kind of go through phases. Sometimes I'll do my nails more regularly, other times I'll go months without painting them. That part is really just preference, but by painting my nails myself or leaving them unpainted, I'm able to save, I'd say, at least $100 a month. That's a huge opportunity to save, and I will say I wasn't great when I first started, but it's something you really get better at. There we go, nails done. I think it looks pretty good. It saves so much time and money. That costs what, probably $1 less than that to apply versus at least $30 to $40 if I was to get them done. Now I will shout out, if you're a mom on the go or just don't always have time to wait for nail polish to dry, this espresso line is fantastic. I love how quick drying they are. This is the shade Never Skip a Beat. Because I'm all for saving money, but you want to make sure that the alternative that you're taking is a good one, right? Or that's how I feel, at least. Okay, then while my nails dry, let's talk travel. Christopher and I are in the midst of planning our 2025 trip, which I am so excited about. We have a couple of different destinations in mind, but when it comes to saving money on vacations and travel, there are a few things that I like to avoid doing. Probably the biggest one is I avoid traveling during peak season. The summer months, the holidays, spring break, it's when everything is at its most expensive. And so instead, whenever possible, I like to try to travel during the shoulder seasons. I find it to be that perfect balance where you still get a really enjoyable trip, the weather's great, all of that, but you're able to save so much money on flights, on lodging, excursions. We've done that in booking our trips to Greece, New Zealand, Italy, Ireland, literally pretty much everywhere we go. I'd say on average it saves us probably somewhere from 30 to 50% on our trips, which when you're talking about traveling to international destinations, you're literally talking about saving thousands of dollars. So for example, one of the places that we're looking at traveling to this year is Portugal. It's one of a list of about 10 destinations, so I'm not positive that we're going here, but let's take a look at it. So I'm seeing right here that if we left for Portugal in March, we'd be able to get tickets for just $580 per person, which is great. Anytime I can get to Europe for under $1,000, I'm pretty happy with that. But if we were to fast forward to peak season in July, looking at tickets, and they go all the way up to $1,600. So it's a huge difference, and that's not just a one-time thing either. So I am a huge believer in traveling off of peak season. Nothing is booked yet, but some fun ideas in the works. But now Oliver just got up, so going to take him out to grab some groceries. But actually first, an important step, I always try to go grocery shopping with a list. So let's see what we need. Plain Greek yogurt, apples, coffee, oat milk. What else? Uh-oh. Maybe you drop that. Oh, baby carrot. Oh, need some cheese. Oh, not again. There we go. Let's talk groceries. Food is a pretty significant portion of our monthly budget, and so there are a few things that I don't buy, that I don't do as a means to save money when it comes to grocery shopping. One of the biggest is I don't default to buying name brands. Often the store brands of things will be the exact same quality, the same or better flavor, and they're so much more affordable too. And so unless there is a significant difference in the flavor, the quality, I'll just default to buying the store brand. Especially the basics, sugar, it's going to be the same from every brand. Now, there are a handful of things that I do find make a difference. I have yet to find a store brand as good as this coffee. The same thing with Oatly's oat milk. With, I'd say, 80 to 90% of things, I'm happy just to purchase the store brand to save some money. And also along the lines of groceries, and this one's a little bit trickier, so hear me out. I don't buy bulk unless it's something that I buy a lot of. Depending on what it is, either buying bulk or just buying one of something can save you money. So I feel like you really need to examine your habits, how much you use of things, to know how much you should buy. There's a protein bar that you love that you have several times a week. It's probably a good idea to buy that in bulk. But if you don't go through garlic that quickly, buying just one can save you money too. That way it doesn't go bad by the time you get around to using it. So when it comes to the bulk debate, if you will, what I typically like to do is err on the side of not buying bulk, especially if I'm just trying something out. I'm, seeing if there's something that I like, if I want to introduce something new into our diet, into our household. Then if we do like it, and especially if we start consuming it fairly regularly, I do like to, buy more bulk, just in more quantity so that we can save money. Oliver is very quickly growing into 12 to 18 month clothes, so just trying to go through what I have for him so far, figure out what gaps we still have in his wardrobe, and then I'm also starting to introduce some of that stuff into his wardrobe as the weather warms up. But when it comes to baby clothing, realistically, I feel like I could do an entire video on all of the ways that we save money having a baby. If that's something that you'd be interested in watching, let me know. But I'd say one of the big things that has saved us a lot of money is not buying clothing new. The vast majority of Oliver's clothes I bought secondhand, especially with just how quickly babies tend to go through clothing. That's helped us to save so much. I'm paying a couple dollars or less per item as opposed to $10+ if I were to get them new. Now I will say, and I've shared this in the past, I do usually make an exception for sleepers and a couple of basics. I'll buy those new just because I've had a hard time finding things that were in good condition secondhand. There's so many things you can find in amazing condition, great quality secondhand. Sometimes even like, look at this, this is brand new with tags. It doesn't say the price, but probably $20 new, and I got it for $6. And how cute is this going to be on Oliver? I think he's gonna wear it for Easter. But yeah, with us about to hit, I think it's the 6th size since Oliver was born, I feel like it just makes sense to buy it secondhand. There's so much money to be saved. I can buy an entire seasonal wardrobe secondhand for under $100, which would cost hundreds if I was trying to do new. Alexa, turn on the bedroom. Then another energy saving one, I don't leave the lights on. When I'm leaving a room, heading out of the house, going to bed, whatever, I always like to make sure that all of our lights are off. Now, I'm a fairly forgetful person, so something that we've done to kind of help make that easier is to install smart lights and smart switches around our house. It's all voice controlled, so I can just say, Alexa, turn off the bedroom.
Okay.
Well, now it's really dark in here, but you get the point. We have a bunch of pre-programmed routines so that our lights turn off automatically when we're not using them. Whether you want to go the route of smart lights, smart switches, or just getting in the habit of turning off the lights whenever you leave a room, that can be a really effortless way to save money. Okay, dinner. We have friends coming over in a couple of hours, coming after dinner to hang out. I think we might play some games or something. So I'm just trying to whip up some dinner before they come. We're having some Mediterranean inspired burger bowls this evening. It's one of my go-to like quick, easy recipes. Doesn't take long. Like literally I can prepare it in 10-15 minutes. It really is quick, easy meals like this that make it so that I don't really ever feel like I need takeout. By making our meals ourselves, we're able to save, I'd say probably somewhere between 20 to 50% on each meal, which again adds up a ton over the course of a month. For this recipe, I just use a dill chopped salad kit. I'm not usually a kit salad person, but this one's really good. And then I'll just serve the seasoned beef, the salad, along with some tzatziki, feta cheese crumbles, and chickpeas. There we go. And then we just mix and serve. I don't know if they have a kava where you live. It's one of my favorite like quick, easy restaurants, but I feel like this lets me create something like I would order from there for a fraction of the price. Something else that helps us save, we don't really drink. Christopher doesn't drink at all. I really only drink socially, like maybe once or twice a month. Wait, hold on. There are plenty of months where I don't drink at all. The price of alcohol, whether you're buying it to consume at home or ordering it when out, adds up quickly. A bottle of wine is probably going to cost you somewhere between $5 and $20 or more, of course. We're talking grocery store wine here. Cocktail will cost you the same amount. Beer will be somewhere between $5 and $10, and that's every time you consume it. And so by choosing not to drink or only drinking socially, and when you drink socially, only ordering a single drink, you can really save a lot of money. Let's be honest here, drinking water is a lot healthier for us as well. Just finishing picking up. Like I was saying, we've got friends coming over in a bit, but something else that I like to do to save money is we don't do a lot of paid activities. For Oliver, we really try to take advantage of the great outdoors, so we'll go on walks to parks. We started doing a free story time at the library, which is so much fun. But then for Christopher and I too, we don't do things like go play mini golf or to the movies all that often. Honestly, even going out to restaurants with friends, we really only do a couple of times a month. But instead, we'll do game nights. We'll have people over for dinner. We love hosting. There are so many cheap or free options for fun things to do. I feel like it's all about just discovering what's available in your area. And of course, one day I would love to be able to do things like to take Oliver to the zoo or to the science museum, things like that. But even then, there's a lot of things that I'd love to do, like taking advantage of cheap or free days, getting seasons passes or memberships. There are lots of different options to make whatever those excursions, those activities are more affordable. So that's something I'd love to do. Whether you have kids or not, just a quick Google search of cheap or free things to do in your area is likely to yield so many results that you may not have thought of otherwise. So give it a go. So everyone left a little while ago, just been spending some time winding down for the evening, but wanted to leave you with one last thing that I don't do, and that's paying for multiple subscriptions. A couple months back, Christopher and I decided to start, instead of paying for multiple different subscription services at once, just pick one at a time to pay for, to subscribe to, because we really only watch one show at a time anyways. It's allowed us to save money so we aren't paying for subscriptions that we aren't actively using. So right now we have Peacock, we're rewatching The Office, and whenever we finish watching all the shows that we want to on there, we'll probably cancel that subscription, move on to a new service. We found that model of rotating subscriptions a really easy way to save money. Those are some things that I don't do or buy to save money, and some of them by themselves might not sound that significant, but when you really add them all together, it does result in us saving hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Well, definitely a year, but even a month too. I think it's so cool just how many practical small things there are that you can do to really save a lot. But now I'd love to know, what are some of the practical things that you like to do to save money? Let me know what some of your best tips are, what you really found works. I'd love to hear about it. That's everything I've got for you in this one, friends. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, for being here, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.